Hello, everyone, and welcome to English 0026, your first video, how this course works. I'm really glad that you are here. One of the things I want to say to you clearly is that this course is designed to help you grow as a writer, not to judge you. Writing will improve through practice, and this class is structured to support that. Before I go any further, I do want to let you know that this course is currently under construction, so I will be updating it week by week by week. But I do want to let you know that, of course, the first week is ready as your course opened today. Every single week in this course, you're going to complete a writing notebook entry, and usually that is one focused paragraph. These entries will build towards a research-based final essay, but we don't jump into research right away. We're going to start with ideas that matter to you. And you will also begin by building a digital writing portfolio. This portfolio is designed to help show your progress over time, and nothing you write is wasted because many of the pieces will be revised and reused. The final goal of this course is a two-page research essay. And by the time you reach that assignment, you'll already have most of the writing done for your assignment. But this week, your first week in the course, your writing is diagnostic. And that just means it's the starting point. I am not grading this for grammar perfection. I'm grading it to find out exactly where you are. On another note, every single Thursday, your videos will upload on Thursday every week, and all of your assignments will be due on Wednesdays by 11:30 p.m. I don't know if this is your first course or not with South Florida State College. And if it is, please definitely allow me to introduce myself. I do have a short introduction, but my name is Professor Rachel Wood. I have been teaching at South Florida State College for several years as an adjunct professor. By day, I am a high school English teacher. I teach English at Sebring High School. I have taught in both Lake Placid and Avon Park as well. And my passion is teaching students how to write and teaching them to be successful at the post-secondary level. That being said, I am used to working with people that have been out of school for quite some time, and I have made this my life's work to help students become more comfortable with writing and become more comfortable with the writing process. One thing about this class is I do emphasize process over product, and that is the one thing and the one mantra I want you to remember as you go through the course, because sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, especially that very first course, and the very first time you've ever used Brightspace. It can be a little bit overwhelming. That being said, again, I want to reiterate that I'm really glad that you're here and I'm really glad that you are in the course. Definitely going to take some effort and we're going to learn this together. I have not taught this class online in several years, so this is going to be a learning curve for both me and you. And I am looking forward to working with you and helping you be successful and become a successful college writer. On that note, I am going to go ahead and share my screen with you so that you can see exactly what we are doing here. And so I'm going to log into Panther Central. My Panther Central looks a little different from yours because I am an employee, but everything should be relatively the same, and pay no attention to all the assignments I have to grade right now. This is your compressed developmental writing course. Right now, it is not showing that there are any news items to display, but your course will begin. And obviously, once your course opens up at midnight on February the 5th, then you will have access to everything, and all of your news will show up right here on the screen. Regardless of what happens in Brightspace, one thing I want to reiterate to you is that you can always click on the Brightspace button to take you home and it will take you to your courses. Obviously, this is compressed developmental writing, otherwise known as ENC 0026. So I do want to start you off with, let me just move this for just a second. You can always click on content up here at the top, and content gives you everything that you need in the course. So we'll start with the overview, bookmarks, course schedule, the student essentials. This is added in by the college, and these are student essentials. And the module connects you to tools and resources and supports available to you as a student. And so it is a one-stop resource for everything you need to get started and stay connected and help you make the most of your experience here at South Florida State College. Your course introduction is on the left-hand side. So you'll see the welcome message, the meet your professor information, and that has my picture on it, that has a little information about me, our course learning outcomes, and really just to access these, all you have to do is literally click on the blue link and it'll take you to this. You will see my photograph here, and this is me about 50 pounds ago, but it's still me. This tells you that am still teaching at Avon Park, so I guess I need to update that because I'm at Sebring now. And I have been back for longer than 5 years. One of the things I do reiterate to students is writing can sometimes be scary and people are fearful of it. I am going to encourage you to not be afraid. My job is to help you develop a good relationship with the written word and have the best ways to communicate it. This can be an intimidating class, but the goal is for you to work together with me to help you to understand different types of writing and different ways to respond to writing and everything that goes into it. So I have the course learning outcomes for the course, and if you click on that, this tells you everything that you will need to learn by the end of the course. And always you can, at the top, click back where you were, and it'll always take you back to where you were at the beginning. This has all the policies and all the requirements that we have to have for the illness and the information and resources, the plagiarism policy, and all of that information. This here is your syllabus and course schedule. And remember, when you're on Brightspace, if you're relatively new, and you can watch this video as many times as you want, when you're on Brightspace, you always can click to the left-hand side and you will see under table of contents everything that is here. So if you go to the syllabus and the course schedule, it can be a little intimidating to look at, but this has your syllabus on it. It has my contact information. Note that this phone number at the top is the number at the high school with my extension. You can contact me there after 3:30 p.m. if you need to get in touch with me immediately. My cell phone number is on here as well. You can send me a text. Just let me know what class that you're in. And then my office is located in B208. I am on campus on Tuesday and Wednesday evenings, teaching evening classes, and that is the location is B208. So this is a fully online course, and we start today, February 5th. 2006. And so I do have up here that new instructional videos will be released weekly on Thursdays, and your weekly modules will open on Thursdays and then close on Wednesdays at 11:30. In the syllabus, which I'm assuming all of you are adults and can read effectively, so I'm not going to go through the syllabus page by page, but my office hours are here. You do have information about appointments being available in the evening for virtual meetings, and it really goes over week by week all of the skills and everything that you will learn in the course. Your textbook, The Simple Math of Writing Well for the 21st Century, that is the textbook for the course. I've got resources hyperlinked on here. As someone who is very much a fan of handwriting, I like to handwrite all of my notes, and I am pretty adamant about that. So Because this is an online course, it is going to require tremendous discipline from you um, to be able to commit to the coursework for every week. There are no physical class meetings and no synchronous Zoom sessions. So, but every week will follow the same structure to support consistency and your success. So, as I've stated a couple of times previously already in this video, your new instructional videos will be released on Thursdays. You'll have a weekly writing notebook entry. There will be some sort of low stake quiz or a skill check. Mostly that will be grammar practice and then the development of your portfolio. You will need to log in regularly and keep up with the weekly deadlines. I do check attendance based on your assignments and the turn in of the assignments. So if something should happen, please make sure you send me an email so that I can document that and see what we can't do about getting things addressed. So again, like I mentioned earlier, there'll be a writing notebook and digital portfolio. You will be doing weekly writing notebook entries. The writing tasks are short, but they're going to build towards your final essay. And you will maintain a digital writing portfolio that will document growth over time. I do have a separate video for that. Your portfolio will include a Dear Reader letter, selected entries from your writing notebook, entries, and then preparation for your research. Do not get intimidated. The research paper is literally 2 pages long. It is not a long essay by any means, but it is something that you will be required to do for the course completion. It's 2 pages, 600 words, MLA formatting. You have to have 2 sources, including one from the South Florida State College library databases, and it will grow from your writing notebook entries and your portfolio work that you complete throughout the term. So with that being said, I do want to go ahead and just walk you through the rest of the course, just so that you are fully aware of everything in the course. You have your course schedule. It is done by week. So again, I'm in the process of updating everything, and it is taking a little bit more time than I wanted to, but at least I got you started for week 1, and we will continue to move on. So we have week 1, we have your objectives for the first week. If you click on that, this tells you that understand the foundational principles as writing, apply the knowledge of subject, predicate, object structure to writing clear and coherent sentences, identify and correct sentence fragments in writing, and assess current writing skills through a diagnostic paragraph assessment. So if you go to back to week 1, like I said, you can always click on the top and it'll take you. It seems like a lot, but it does have a lot of different things in it. You have a grammar practice for your first week. You have a introductory discussion board assignment. So I'm going to click on this right now and just so that you can see what it looks like. Basically, because this course is completely online, it is going to be very important that you engage with your classmates. So you won't have weekly discussion boards, but you will have them probably bi-weekly so that you can get to know some of your classmates and respond to them, because it will replace in class seat time that is required. So what you will do is you will log into the introduction discussion board assignment, and well, I say log in, you're already logged into Brightspace, but it will have a prompt. This week is your introductory discussion board. It is how I do attendance. So it is critically important that you do complete this aspect. You need to participate in the following discussion board activity. You're going to introduce yourself. You're going to give me your name and your preferred name, your academic and career aspirations, what you hope to achieve in this course, your plan of study at the college, and an interesting fact about yourself. It should be at least 100 words addressing the prompt. And then you need to respond to at least 2 classmates with meaningful comments. A rule of thumb for discussion board postings is 50 words minimum in your responses. It is a mandatory attendance requirement that you do the first week discussion board In order for you to be successful, you are going to actively have to participate. If you do not complete this assignment, then it will withdraw you from the course and remove you from the class roster. So it is very, very important that you engage fully in order to maintain your enrollment. And I'm looking forward to learning more about you and working together with you to help you achieve your academic goals. I am very, very passionate about what I do. The way that you would engage in the discussion board is to click on this blue button that says start a new thread. So I am going to start a new thread right now, and I'm just going to type in introduction, and I'm going to say, hello, students. I'm Professor Wood, and I'm happy to meet all of you. Of course, I am talking as I type. Um, and I'm currently in school to complete my doctorate. I cannot spell tonight. I'm so sorry. Degree and teach full time at Sebring High School, as well as teaching classes at SFSC in the evening. I love working with students to help them meet their goals and to improve their writing skills. That is one of my favorite parts of my job. An interesting fact about me is that, well, not only do I love reading, I used to average 12 books a week, but since I started my doctoral program, I don't have time to read nearly as much. But I am a grandmother of two wonderful boys. One is 12 and the other is 2 years old, and they affectionately call me Grammar. Always put your period inside the quotation marks. With that being said, I also love to read, binge, watch many different television shows. Is my favorite. And I love Broadway musicals. My current favorite musical is The Outsiders, which I have seen in New York twice. Other than that, I'm pretty boring, but I do love to spend all of my spare time. Uh-huh. Who has spare time with my family and my grandson? Looking forward to So, this does tell you how many words when you are finished. And obviously, I just talked through that. So feel free to fast forward through all that nonsense as I was talking while I was typing. Um, you can also record audio, but the goal is really for you to write. So I would prefer you to do that right now until we get a little further on in the course, and then I might throw in some recordings to just to experiment with them a little bit. So I'm going to click the blue button that says post and it posts. And so I have that thread in there now. Um, you cannot see any of the threads until you post. That is a setting in Brightspace. And so you won't be able to see anyone's introduction until you actually start your own thread and do your own discussion. Now, of course, because I'm in here as an instructor, I can do things a little bit differently. That being said, I'm going to navigate back to content. And of course, I'm screen sharing and my screen share is way up there um, with my Zoom button. And I'm going to go back to week one. And again, it does look a little bit different for me because I'm the instructor. So like I have the option of adding dates and restrictions and descriptions and all of that. You'll see the MLA formatting video. All of your assignments should be in MLA formatting, and that is also extremely important. If you do not know how to MLA format, this is a video that tells you how to format in Microsoft 365, which I will explain in just a moment. This is a PowerPoint from the first chapter of the Simple Math of Writing Well. If you cannot get it to load, then please send me an email and I will email it to you, or you can download it straight to your computer as well. This other PowerPoint is on sentence structure, fragments, subjects, predicates, and objects. And then I've got a handout as well. But this is really what I want to focus on. And this is your writing notebook entry one, which is your issue identification. So again, this is the first assignment. It is diagnostic in nature. So I'm going to click on it just so you can see, or actually you can actually see the assignments here. This asks you, what is an issue, experience, or concern that has shaped how you see the world, education, work, language, or society? It says, describe the issue clearly and explain why it matters to you. Consider where this issue shows up in your daily life, your education, or your community. So this assignment does need to be in MLA formatting. Your paragraph does have to begin with a clear topic sentence that defines this issue. Again, I see something that I have to edit already. Include at least two supporting details and with a concluding sentence, and a focused writing and complete sentences with a clear subject, predicate, and object. And obviously you would need to look at the PowerPoints. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm one of those people where I have to take physical notes as I'm going through things. So feel free to take physical notes on the videos, feel free to take physical notes on the PowerPoints, or if you're just one of those people that can print things off and that's easier that way, then you can also do that. Unfortunately, there are no transcripts to print out for the videos, but you do have this and you can watch this as many times as you want to. So once you have done this, I do want to point out after I've graded, now I do have 2 weeks as per the college policy to grade and return assignments. I'm pretty good about getting assignments back to you quickly. If there's an issue, I will always put in the news area that I am a little behind on grading if that happens, but it's not something that happens very often. That being said, continuing to walk through Brightspace, your writing notebook entry one, I'm going to just go ahead and edit this because it's driving me crazy right now. That I have to fix this. Okay. So I'm just going to say begins with a clear topic sentence that answers or that describes the issue. I cannot stand. I thought I had fixed everything, but sometimes we're all human, you know. So now I'm going to save and close it and go back to week one and it should be fixed now. So let me just click on that. Yes, it is. Okay. So it is fixed there. Again, it opens the day your course opens, which is February 5th, and it's available until February 11th. And that being said, please note that it says 11:59 p.m. Your assignments are due at 11:30, but they do remain open until 11:59. If there's one thing that I can say to you that is critically important, it is that you do not procrastinate. If you procrastinate and wait until the last minute, the day that it is due, and I understand that you guys all have jobs and lives and responsibilities and families, but planning accordingly. So for every college class that you are taking, you should plan on putting in a minimum of 3 to 4 hours per week for that course. Now, obviously, I don't require you to put in that amount of time, but that is just the recommended amount of time for your readings and your assignments and your responses and emails to the professor and note taking and PowerPoint viewing and all of those things to make sure that you are synthesizing and understanding the material. And if you start early, then you will not have as much as of an issue on the day that your assignment is due. And if you run into something, then you can always send me an email and I will have time to respond back to it. If you send me an email at 12:01 the day after the assignment is due, then you're going to get an email back from me that says, hey, did something happen? Why did you procrastinate? Um, I try not to be snarky in my emails. Occasionally it comes across that way, but I'm really not that type of person. But the goal is for you not to procrastinate. It is for you to plan and prepare and create a plan. That's why I created the course calendar for you so that you would know exactly what was due and on what days. For the most part, we will stick to that course calendar, but occasionally I may move something back or move something up, but I will always send you an email to notify you and let you know and then mention it in the weekly video. As far as your portfolio goes, that is something that's probably going to be intimidating to you at first. Right now, you don't want to give it a second thought. I have a separate video for that that I will post at a later date, probably next week. But I don't want to overwhelm you this week since it is your first week in the course. After you have turned in an assignment, you can go up here when you log into Brightspace, you will see the little bell. The little bell will give you any and all information. You do not have to create a turnitin.com account to view your feedback or anything like that. I always utilize Brightspace's inline annotation tool for feedback. And so you'll be able to just click on your assignment submission and it will give you feedback. And then you'll have a comment box with the rubric and it will give you additional feedback from me. And the feedback that I give is pretty detailed. I like to make sure that students know exactly what they need to fix for revision purposes. That being said, as I also want to show you that your assignments, if you click on assignments here, you can go to discussions and you can go to Dropbox. I'm just going to click on Dropbox. And the Dropbox has everything right now for your due dates. And I believe I updated them all the way through the end of the course. But again, I see some that I still have to fix. Like I said, it is a work in progress. If you get to the bottom of the page, there are 2 pages. So please make sure you go to the second page because the second page will have all of that information on it as well. And because this course was copied over from a previous course and it was an in-person course, there'll be some things that will be changing and adjusting. It will change and vary slightly from week to week, but you just need to be aware that you check. Your bell will always tell you if I've changed, updated, or made some sort of change to the course itself. Now I'm going to, for just a moment, if you ever feel lost You can always go back to content here and go to your weekly modules, and it will always 100% take you back to those. Because we're starting at week 1, and then the following Thursday, you will start week 2, and so on and so forth. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop the screen share for just a second. I'm going to make sure that this is up and open. Give me just a second. Okay, so let me go back to my Zoom screen. Going to share right here. And then let me just see if I can move this a little bit. Yeah, I can. All right, so I do want to point out that this is not an MLA format. I will send you a template if you would like once the course starts of an MLA formatted document. But I did want to make sure that you saw this paragraph. This is a model paragraph that I use when I start the course, and it is a definition of success. So this model paragraph, success is often described as financial stability or academic achievement, but for many students, success also means persistence. For students who balance work, family, and school, staying enrolled can be as challenging as earning high grades. When outside responsibilities compete with coursework, time and energy become limited resources. As a result, students may struggle not because they lack ability, but because they lack support and flexibility. Understanding success in this broader way helps explain why access to resources matters as much as motivation. So I want you to notice a few things about this paragraph. First, it has one clear idea, and that is success and what the definition of success is. So that's my controlling idea. So I'm just going to click on this here, and I'm going to highlight. So I'm going to use the highlighting tool here. So you can see that is the go down here and here. Let me. All right. So I'm going to put controlling idea. And that is, or otherwise known as your central idea, is in yellow. And so success is the topic. Second, I want you to notice that each sentence explains that idea. So, we have the definition of success, and then I will go into for students who balance work, family, and school, staying enrolled can be as challenging as earning high grades. This sentence here is support. So I'm going to change the color here too. Let me just do this. Hang on. Click undo. All right. I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to hit the blue button. I'm going to scroll down, and then this is going to automatically highlight sentence expands the controlling idea. Okay, so I am going to highlight this in blue because, having color coding is always really important. Third, I want you to notice that I do not use a lot of big words here. It is not about your vocabulary. One of the things that a lot of students do when they're doing the diagnostic paragraph is they try to use this very large vocabulary using words like ostentatious, or platyhelminthes, which by the way is a species of worm, so most definitely not something that would be under a paragraph about success. However, you want to make certain that your writing is uniquely you. I always tell my students in this course that you are an emerging writer. That does not necessarily mean you are a bad writer. It means you are emerging and you are going to grow as a writer. So you're going to start off small and then grow your writing skills. It doesn't use a lot of big words to sound smart, it focuses on clarity. And that final sentence there is really, really important. Um, Understanding success in this broader way helps explain why access to resource matters as much as motivation. So it does have a solid conclusion sentence. Um, so one of the things, and I will just go ahead and highlight this last sentence here as the conclusion, and then I will pick a different color. Purple is my favorite color, so I'm going to put conclusion sentence here, and I will highlight that in purple as well. And I will do this as I model writing with you every week. I'm going to add note that there are no big words used in this response. Also note that the response focuses on clarity because that is important. Clarity, making sure your ideas come across clearly, and making sure that your ideas are understandable. I don't like that color. That color is hard to read. So I'm going to highlight that in green. Um, that being said, this is the level that we are working towards. We are not working towards perfection. We are working towards control of our writing. Um, and I want you to understand that it is not something I want you to be super stressed out at and overwhelmed and sitting crying at the computer because you can't figure out what to write about. If you get stuck, please reach out and email me. That's what I'm here for. And I would be more than happy to assist you. I do want to note that if you text me during the school day, obviously I'm teaching, so 99% of the time I don't respond during the day until after 3:30 p.m. Because that's when my contract ends for the day with the Highlands County School Board. So your first research notebook entry, your writing notebook entry one is writing experience and what matters. And so you're going to discuss an issue, experience, or concern that has shaped how you think about education, work, your identity, or even society as a whole. And this response, this writing notebook entry one, will help me um, see where you are as a writer, but it will also help you identify ideas that may later become part of your very short research essay as part of this course. So with that being said, I'm going to stop sharing the screen so that I can move back over towards Brightspace. So let's do that here. Go back to share. Oh, no. Stop share. See, I'm still getting used to this. I'm gonna have to minimize that. There we go. Now I'm gonna go back to share and we're gonna share our Brightspace screen. So that I'm back to Brightspace on the Zoom. I do want to check here. As far as everything here across the top, this has the grade book. I can't open the grade book due to FERPA regulations because I am in as an instructor. There is a link for tutoring. There is a link for help. These are course resources. Again, if you ever get lost, you can always navigate back to content. This is communication. So if you decide that you need to email me or you need to email someone else in the class, you can click on class list. That'll give you everyone's name in the course. I'm not going to display it due to FERPA reasons, but if you click on the class list, you can put a checkbox or click the checkbox next to their name and send that person an email. I am at the very bottom of the list, of course, because it is alphabetical and I am a W, but I will also be listed as the instructor. So you can always send me an email if you have questions or again, send a text. The second thing under communication is email. That is your Brightspace email. So this envelope here is your Brightspace email. This will give you any alerts. Say, for example, I send out an email to the class or I make an announcement. This will always be lit up with something. It'll have a little orange dot that tells you that you have an email waiting. Um, this is subscription alert. So if you subscribe to the discussion board, it will give you an alert when someone has responded to a discussion board. And the bell gives you update alerts. And so that is if I have finished grading something and you have feedback to view, or I have changed something in the course, it will give you that. So the bell it kind of serves as an alarm bell. That being said, I'm going to ask you to navigate over here to assessments. You will see I'm on the instructor view, so it is a little different. I have the attendance tab and checklist and things like that. If you go to quizzes, you will have a list on your quizzes. And right now I'm going to go ahead and edit that because it is the first week and this is a diagnostic. So I'm just going to click on today. We'll go to 2/5. It's due at 11:30. Oh no, hang on. It's gonna be due to 11 at 11:30. And I'm gonna put today in at 2/5 at midnight, which is when the course opens. It ends at 2, so sorry, 2:10 is your due date because everything is due on Wednesday. So sorry. That's 9/10/2025. Goodness. By the way, there is a reason why I teach English and not math. So we're going to go with February 11th, which is a Wednesday, not the 10th, um, at 11:30. And this is your diagnostic grammar pretest. So again, you'll have that, and then you'll have structure, fragments, subjects, predicates, and objects, which is part of the PowerPoint. So I'm just going to click on today. And of course, you don't get to do this. This is all instructor stuff. But since I am noticing the issues, I want to go ahead and make sure that this is done for you so that you're not looking. And I'll go in as a student here in just a moment so that I can check to make sure that it is there for you and that you have it. So I'm going to click Save and Close. So you have 2 quizzes this week. You have sentence structure, fragments, subjects, predicates, and objects, and then you have your diagnostic pretest. For some reason it said available on February 4th, but the availability is the 5th at midnight. So let me just fix that right now. So again, like I said, if you ever get lost, you can just click on Brightspace. It will take you into your courses that you're taking here. These are the 3 classes that I'm teaching. Compressed developmental writing, obviously. If you ever get lost, you can always click on the Brightspace icon. So again, you're going to navigate to assessments and you're going to go to quizzes. Now, you have both quizzes that I've just fixed the dates here on there. So they should show up. If they don't, then please let me know. That being said, you also have your navigation check. Next week, I'm going to make sure that the AI policy is in place for you to sign off on and check on that. I'm waiting until week 2 really to show you examples of the digital portfolios because I didn't want to overwhelm you this first week. I do hope that I've given you a pretty decent overview of Brightspace and how to operate it and how to work through it. I'm really looking forward to this course. I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you, and I'm looking forward to really being able to help you overcome any fears that you have of writing. Online courses are not easy. And I have taught this class in person in the past, and like I said, it's been several years since I have taught it online. So hopefully, you will be successful. And I am going to, it's a work in progress. So please note that I will be updating and changing daily things, and then your videos will go live on Thursday. So you won't have any other videos until the following week. So your next video for week 2 will go live on February. Let me look at my calendar. It will go live on February 12th at 12:01 a.m. So if you have questions, need assistance, please reach out to me and I will be more than happy to assist you in any way possible. I'm again looking forward to helping you become a successful collegiate level writer. And please do not hesitate to send me an email, send me a text, introduce yourself, and I will be happy to clarify any questions that you might have. Anyway, I hope you have a great week. This may be the first of several videos. I'm not quite sure, but I did want to make sure that you had at least one video on for your first week. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'm looking forward to seeing what your writing looks like and being able to open up a dialogue and conversation, give you some feedback, and see about improving those writing skills. Anyway, have a fantastic week, and I will see you on February 12th, if not before then.